Shannon Thigpen with Shine Yoga. You can do a bridge or a wheel, and that will strengthen your core, your glutes, your legs by getting on the floor, or you can use your bed too, really. But you need to be on a harder surface if you're going to use a block. And I'm going to use the block at first. Just lying down on the floor, I'll take a block and put it across the hip area. So about where your pant is, that goes across your sacrum. The sacrum is that flat bone at the bottom of your spine where all of the nerve endings to the spine connect. So it's a nice pressure point. If you put the block too high, it will feel uncomfortable. So you want to make sure you move it down if you need to, and you can rest with that block right there. And just breathe. This also opens your chest. The back of the neck is nice and long. You can take a few breaths with the block in the smaller side, and then perhaps lift your hips a little higher and move the block up. Again, you'll need to position it so that it feels right for you. If it's too high, you keep it on the lower side. Opening the chest, it'll open up more, and of course your hips are lifting higher. This helps you to get more flexibility in the spine, which can help your posture as well. The back of the neck should have no pressure on it. You should be resting on your head. And you want to you want to be looking to the ceiling. Although I'm turning my head slightly so that I can look at you, you don't want to do that in this pose. You want to keep your gaze towards the sky. If you have the flexibility to do so, you may wish to bring the block to its tallest side. Now you might not go as fast as I'm going here. You may take a few more breaths with the block lower, and then as you feel good, I have it right on the sternum. Now you don't want it going up and down the spine, you want it to go across the spine there. And breathe. If it feels uncomfortable, if it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. If you can, have your toes turning inward slightly as opposed to externally rotating, because that will help with the flexibility in the hamstrings. If they're really tight, your toes will want to flare out. Inhaling and exhaling. This is a very good warm-up if you are going to do a deeper expression of the pose. Inhaling, exhaling, warming up the back. Inhaling and exhaling. And you can stay there, any of those progressions that I just used. Bring the knees in when you are done, and then you'll repeat either on a shorter side or a taller side. If you feel inclined to do so, perhaps you'll go up, pressing your feet into the mat without the block. You want to have your hands close enough that you could touch your heels. Perhaps you could even touch your ankles and lift. My shoulder blades are coming together. Again, my neck is not on the mat. It's comfortable. It's my head that is resting on the mat. Inhaling and exhaling. I'm using my glutes, I'm using my hamstrings. One vertebra at a time, you want to come down. And bring the knees back into the chest. Perhaps circle your ankles. Make sure your shoulders are away from your ears, circle the other way. Inhaling, exhaling. Straightening the legs to the degree that's right for you. I'm just adding a little bit of a flow here, as we like to do at Shine Yoga. Inhale, exhale. Coming up again, peeling from the tailbone, one vertebra at a time, and lifting. If you feel comfortable and you can interlace your fingers, try to interlace the fingers. If you can, have the fingers interlaced and straighten your arms. I invite you to do that. Breathing, inhaling, exhaling. Now it's okay if your arms are not straight or if your fingers are not interlaced. It's perfectly fine. Inhaling, exhaling. I can feel my glutes working here. Inhaling and exhaling. Breathing. Good, and brighten the hands, brighten the shoulder blades, one vertebra at a time. Come back down and bring the knees into the chest again. That will stretch your back. It's a counter pose so that the work that you did in your back bend, you are now reversing that work, and it should feel oh so good. Remember, you're only doing what's right for you. Anything I say that is not right for you, or if you don't have doctor directives, then you don't do it, right? Right, so those were your bridge poses. Now, for wheel, your hands would come behind you, and you have to have the flexibility in the shoulders to do this. If you're unable to take your hands behind you and get the elbows in, like if they flare out to the sides, then you'll work on your flexibility in the shoulders. So you could come here and stay right there, and that may be what you work on for months. Inhaling and exhaling, your feet are involved here as well. You press your feet into the mat. You press your hands into the mat. The back of the head goes onto the mat as you lift your head and shoulders. You press and lift the hips off the mat. Inhaling, exhaling. Breathing, inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Toes straight ahead. Now, it's really important when you come back down, you reverse it. You bring your chin in, back of the head comes down, shoulders, and then one vertebra at a time until your tailbone comes on the mat, and you bring your knees into your chest. Nice, right? You may want to circle your wrists too. Inhaling and exhaling. Both directions. Taking my knees apart this time as I massage my sacrum, my low back, and the opposite way. Inhaling and exhaling. And let's go up one more time. So remember, you, each time, could be using the block. Maybe you're just resting on the block, opening the chest. Or you've gone through the progressions as we have gone through. Maybe you started in wheel and you're going beyond that progression. So you do what feels right for you. I'm spreading my fingers, elbows are in, pressing into the mat, lifting the head, inhaling, exhaling, breathing, inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. And to come back down, back of the head first, one vertebra at a time. Bring my arms forward, circle my wrist, knees into my chest. And that is a bridge with a block, a bridge without a block, different progressions, and a wheel. I'm Shannon Thigpen. Look, you just start where you are. You do what you can because you have greatness inside of you, and I believe in you. Namaste.